Hello, friends. So today I received a question uh, on my YouTube channel, which was to address whether the effortless path is a better path or the path of effort, and which one should a spiritual spirit uh, embark on, right? And from my experience, in the most important moments of my life where I had to make major decisions, whether it is for me or for others, to lead and show the example of what we have to go, right? The path of God, which is the natural path, that there's only being, there are no separate selves, there's no separate self anywhere. Therefore, there's nothing to do or attain because this is complete. This is the moment. This is God. If you get that, you don't need practice. You don't need any sadhana. That's true, right? So you have two possibilities. Either you see that there's no separation, there's only being, or you think that you're a real individual with a free will and choice, and then you have to practice. The only problem is that if you have to practice, you might be free. You might get the freedom you want, yes. But just like in a dream, in your night dream, you could have been free in a dream, but your freedom depended on your bondage. Freedom only exists in relationship to bondage. That's what I'm saying, that God's will, or the natural path, always takes the upper hand when it comes to, well, the most important moments where you have to make major decisions and maybe show others that there's only being, there's no separate self anywhere, and that therefore we are all complete, all the same, all pure and perfect. Now, that being said, does it mean you need to stop practicing? No. You have no choice in it from the absolute perspective anyway. I'm going to a silent retreat in October in New York. I might go to a retreat in July for a few days. So it doesn't mean you need to stop practicing. What it means is you need to stop, it's the opportunity to stop practicing as a person, as a ego, me, mind, right? So the advantage of this path, the natural path, this only being, is that you drop the ego instantaneously. You don't need a perfect humanity, a mind free of all emotions, this kind of stuff, because this is still viewing from the point of view of separateness, of the human mind. The human mind's way of seeing freedom is really basically, I want to be free from suffering. I want to not to feel so many emotions and disturbing thoughts and all that. But God's freedom is different. God's freedom is inclusive. It includes emotions. It includes thoughts. You would never want to reject those because these are part of what is this moment, right? So all I can say is choose the path that's natural for you. In the end, it really goes beyond both. But in the most important moments of my life, there was one path, one view of reality that always took the upper hand, which is that there's only perfection, only God. Does it mean I'll stop practicing? Does it mean I'll stop doing emotional work and not work on certain aspects of my human personalities? Does it mean I'm perfect on the human level? Hell no, of course not. But I trust the higher power more than I trust the human mind. And so far, I've always been right about this point, almost always, right? But it's hard for us as humans, as apparent separate entities, to see and to accept that there's a higher intelligence at work, and that we're not the doer, we're being done by being. It's not easy to accept that. But if you accept and see that, you're free. And you're free instantaneously. And this freedom is not an image of the mind. So this freedom is not opposite to bondage. This freedom is not against the ego. It transcends the ego. It doesn't mean you have no ego. I met many people many times who apparently had no ego, and these were the biggest egos I've ever seen in my life. because the one with no ego is very arrogant. It's very arrogant to say that you have no ego. In relationship to what? To someone who has a big ego? I'm saying go beyond both. God, or what is, would never make the distinction between the two. And while it's better and more sane to be less egoistical, on that I do agree, it is not in any way better, more moral, because all of that simply comes from the judgment of the mind, and a human mind is always in judgment. One can only be free when one goes beyond the mind and its judgments. I wish you a very good evening, and I'll see you and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye bye.